Hey everybody, it's Andy from James Neve. As a dad of 4 kids, I tend to frequent a lot of kids' birthday parties over weekends, and I was at one this weekend and had an interesting conversation with someone around property and markets, as often comes up with my job. And the question came up about mortgage money and mortgage funds and where does mortgage money actually come from? And that's a really great question, and something which I had presumed for many years that I knew the answer to. Being an estate agent, thought I know this, but actually I was totally wrong, and I found that out a little earlier this year, chatting to a good friend of mine who's a really good brain for economics, who explained the realities to me. So mortgage money, my presumption was always that it was, you would go to your bank and ask for mortgage money. They would go and borrow it from some kind of higher institution or some kind of higher wealth, or take it out of their pool of people's assets that they're holding. They would lend it to you at a higher rate of interest, and they would take the profit off the top. That was my presumption of how the system kind of worked. But actually, no, that's not the case. Mortgage money is actually, in the very basic form, is actually invented. It's they grant you a mortgage, they push a button, and poof, mortgage money appears. You then pay interest on it over the years, which is their profit. And once the mortgage is paid off, the money disappears again. It's taken back out of the system. Is the kind of very basic formula of how these things work. And that kind of mentality and thought process of, wow, that money didn't exist a second ago and now it does, really opens a whole can of worms of other discussions. And I think it's a real driving point of house price inflation when you stop and think about, actually they are just creating money for you to go and buy houses. I think that's a real starting point for why house prices go up historically and will do in the future over a long period of time. Which I guess brings us back around to investments. It's something I talk about a lot. We need more investors buying into the marketplace. So, a market which is artificially inflated by quantitative easing, for want of a better word, feels like a good place to put funds into long term and invest into. So there you go. Whole realms of interesting conversations I have at kids' birthday parties. If you have any questions for me, do drop me a line, 01932 221 331, or Andy at James Neve. Thank you.